In the last lecture, we have discussed about the RLC series circuit. The link of that lecture is given in the description below. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about the RLC parallel circuit, in which the resistor R, capacitor C, and inductor L are connected in parallel with alternating voltage source. In RLC series circuit, the current flowing through the R, L, and C remains the same. But in parallel circuit, the voltage across each element remains the same. Hence, the current is divided between elements depending on the impedance of each element. As the current flowing in R, L, and C are not in same phase to each other, so they can't be added arithmetically. But the total current from the supply IAC is equal to the vector sum of each element's current. Here is a diagram you can see. In the case of resistor, voltage and current are in phase to each other. In the case of inductor, current lags the voltage by 90 degrees. And in case of capacitor, current leads the voltage by 90 degrees. Here is a phasor diagram in which a voltage is taken as a reference because voltage is same in all three elements. As voltage and current are in same phase in case of resistor, so we draw IR in this direction of voltage. In case of inductor, current lags voltage by 90 degree, so we draw IL to lag the current voltage vector by 90 degrees. And in case of capacitor, current leads the voltage by 90 degrees. So we draw IC at 90 degrees with respect to the voltage vector. Here is the simplified phasor diagram where we get the resultant IC by simply Pythagorean theorem. And we get IAC whole square is equal IR square plus into IL minus IC whole square, where IR is equal V over R, IC is equal V over XC, and IL is equal V over XL. XC is called capacitive reactance, and that is equal 1 over omega C. And XL is equal omega L, and it is called inductive reactance. The supply voltage is V is equal to IZ, where Z is the net impedance of three parallel elements. So in case of parallel elements, a circuit, it is simple and easy to consider the total admittance of all elements. And total admittance of all elements is represented by Y, and that is equal to 1 over Z. And you see 1 over Z is equal, Y is equal 1 over R square plus into 1 over XL minus 1 over XC whole square under the root. Here is the frequency response. Here is the discussion about frequency response, where you know XL is equal omega L and XC is equal 1 over omega C. At the case of higher frequencies, XL is much greater than XC. So in that case, RLC series parallel circuit acts like RL circuit. And at lower frequency, XC is much greater than XL. So in that case, RL parallel circuit behaves like RC circuit. There is another case when XL is equal to XC. So exactly at XL equal to XC, we get a frequency called resonance frequency, and that is F is equal to 1 over 2 pi LC under the root. At this frequency, a minimum current flows through the parallel circuit due to the high impedance. Let's have a look at the impedance versus frequencies graph, where you can see that at lower frequency, the circuit is more inductive, where XC is much greater than XL. And at higher frequency, the circuit is more capacitive, where XL is greater than XC. At resonance frequency, that Z is at its peak, means maximum. It means that the admittance is at its minimum, and that is limiting the circuit current. Hence, it is also called a rejector circuit. And here is the current versus frequency graph. And here you can see that the response starts at its maximum, reaches at its minimum, and that happened exactly at resonance frequency, and then again reaches to its maximum. So it means that at resonance frequency, when XL is equal to XC, we get minimum current passing through the circuit. This is how, this is the reason why we call this circuit as a rejected circuit. Dear students, that's all for the today's lecture. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and share with your friends.